These two hoodies are both Yeezy products. If you wanted to own this one from 2017, it would cost you $250. And this one from 2026 would cost you just $20. So what happened? This video was made possible by Parasaint Studio, who let me borrow their Yeezy archive. I'll leave their details in the description if you want to check them out. You see, most of us know the beginning of the story for Yeezy. The fashion world doesn't take Kanye West seriously. He gets small opportunities with brands like Bape and Reebok. Eventually, he lands Nike, who didn't even want to pay him any royalties and instead donated his proceeds to charity.
Nike, they said, okay, cool, Kanye, you've been screaming up and down, we're gonna give you a deal for Yeezy, finally. I said, what about royalties? They said, look, you're not a professional athlete, so you don't get no royalties.
Most of you also know the end, the public meltdown, the anti-Semitism, and the collapse of a multi-billion-dollar brand overnight. But the part nobody talks about is what happened in the middle. Between these two moments is one of the most misunderstood stories in fashion that has people completely torn on what Yeezy has become today. By the end of this video, you may still not even know how to feel about it. It's 2015. Kanye just launched Yeezy Season 1 with prices akin to designer luxury brands. This is a sweatshirt from Yeezy Season 5, which was in collaboration with ERD, a luxury designer or fashion house. It retailed for $400. I think this product represents Yeezy at the time pretty well. It's the perfect encapsulation of a designer product, the high price point, the multi-collaboration, and of course the unique design, albeit just a bunch of scribbles. But it's clearly a product that is not made for everyone. And if the design didn't scare you off, the price point would have. Online, Kanye West faces a lot of backlash about the prices of his clothing line. In an interview with the BBC, he offers an explanation and the first insight into what we're seeing now in 2026.
It was a futile argument for me to say, hey, everyone, get behind me so I can make another $5,000 jacket that you can't afford. I want to fight for an H&M, Zara type concept, and I know that Adidas can eventually get those price points, and I want to apologize to everyone right now because I believe that Season 1 might still be in that upper price point, because nothing should be exclusive. Everyone should have an opportunity to drink from the same fountain.
He said this in 2015, while at the same time selling a coat for $4,000. Now, Adidas wasn't ready for $20 prices, so Kanye waited. The outfit that I'm wearing currently had a retail price of $1,900. It's a mix of different Yeezy Season pieces, 4, 5, 3. These shoes were actually made by Adidas, the Yeezy 950 boots. These alone cost $600. This jacket from Yeezy Season 5, $750. The t-shirt from Yeezy Season 6, $120. And these pants, $270. These $600 boots were one of the more expensive models that Adidas and Yeezy collaborated on. I mean, a lot of them were up there in price. I mean, not exactly Yeezy season prices, but still. But it's clear at this point that Kanye's idea of exclusivity not existing and his prices being affordable for everyone hadn't been fully realized at this point. The quality on these pieces does feel pretty great. Even if you had to pay more for these shoes, it did feel like a premium offering. The quality of the clothing pieces, while I said it does feel great, it doesn't necessarily justify the price point. That's typically the way it goes with designer brands. The quality is never a correlation of the price point. These are all pretty great pieces. I think they feel nice, but just way too expensive for me personally. And also for Kanye. Now, his next move would absolutely shock the world. In June of 2020, Kanye finally gets a real shot at delivering on what he's been promising people for 5 years. A partnership with Gap.
We want to show you the Yeezy effect. Now Gap investors are witnessing it.
The Gap collaboration with Kanye's Yeezy brand promises modern elevated basics for men, women, and also children.
Mainstream retail at accessible price points. This was supposed to be it. Yeezy products being both affordable and accessible, and not just for the 1%. This outfit was created by Yeezy Gap and retails for $260. This is a double-layered hoodie which retailed for just $80 and to this day still feels like incredible value. And at the time, this product genuinely shocked people. They felt like they were getting designer clothing for Gap prices. These pants, although nothing crazy in terms of design, cost $100. At the time, the latest shoes that were being released by Adidas and Yeezy were these, the Foam Runner. They cost $80, the cheapest shoe that Yeezy and Adidas had ever made. They're also manufactured in the USA, and again just cemented that idea that the plan for affordable Yeezy products was still moving forwards. But this is where the story takes a turn for the worse, and this hoodie marks the collapse of the entire thing. It's now January in 2022. The Gap collaboration evolves into something no one expected. Yeezy, Gap, and Balenciaga. The idea behind this was quite simple. Kanye West was close friends with Demna, who at the time was the creative director for Balenciaga, so he would simply bring his friend on board to help Kanye bring these accessible products to fruition. At this point, the mission hadn't changed for Kanye, but Gap, well, they saw things a little bit differently.
Gap didn't take it to $20 the way I wanted to, because they were still trying to protect the classism of the idea of Balenciaga and the idea of Gap.
The irony with this collaboration is that Balenciaga is kind of known for extremely high price points. Not only that, but the products, we all well know that they're never worth the actual price point that they're selling for. Balenciaga is the perfect representation of high price points and only something the 1% is able to actually buy. I'm now head to toe in Yeezy, Gap, and Balenciaga, and what's interesting about this is that the prices did go up. Unlike the $80 Gap hoodie, now that Balenciaga was involved, this hoodie retails for $250. These sweatpants now cost $180, and this denim jacket cost $450. Even the Yeezy Adidas shoes at the time were more expensive. This is the Knit Runner boot that retailed for $400. Now, still despite these higher price points, the products themselves still felt pretty great. This hoodie has design details that the world only really saw when it released. Unique details, the distressing, the hidden waistband, even down to the shape of the hood itself. It's double layered, comfortable, and kind of feels like something Balenciaga would release. The Knit Runner boot, incredibly intricate, and you have to say, you've never seen anything quite like it up until this point. The release of this triple collaboration was met with some disappointment by fans. They felt the prices of these products were just too high, and that it was a step in the wrong direction from what Kanye had promised everyone all these years. Affordable and easy to acquire products. Little did we know at the time, but Kanye felt the same way. And behind the scenes, he was frustrated and upset with the direction that things were going in. So in June of 2022, Kanye publicly attacks the Adidas CEO and accuses the brand of copying his designs. And one by one, every single partner terminated their agreements with Kanye West following his anti-Semitic comments. Adidas, Gap, Balenciaga, his record label, and even his bank. I don't know if that's a partnership, but they terminated it, whatever it was. The Yeezy brand valuation effectively goes to zero overnight. What we didn't know then was that this goal that Kanye West has had for so many years at this point wasn't shared by his partners like Adidas and the Gap. They simply just did not want to price things as low as Kanye wanted them to be.
Because Gap didn't take it to $20 the way I wanted to, or the idea of a Gap and Ye collaboration and Balenciaga collaboration. My thought is to take it and bring it, let's take it and get it to free, but at least get it to $20.
Now, the only thing that Kanye owns is his Yeezy name. And up until this point, every partner that Kanye ever had made more money from Yeezy than Yeezy did. But after shaking off all of these partnerships, we finally see the vision that Kanye West had this entire time.
Mark these words of this interview. I'm gonna run shit. I'm gonna run shit, right?
The entire outfit that I'm wearing now costs just $80. The shoes, the sweatpants, the t-shirt, and the hoodie. Everything. When the independent Yeezy website released in 2023, for the first time ever in Yeezy history, there was no partners. No Adidas, no Gap, no Balenciaga.
And I feel free!
Just Kanye and a Shopify website. And the very first thing that he does is price every single item at just $20.
And all these pieces we're gonna be selling for $20 each.
This is the first independent Yeezy footwear, the Yeezy Pod Sock, which cost $20. And when this website launched, according to Kanye West, it generated $19 million worth of sales. Now, I will say these products being listed for $20 was pretty shocking at the time. To see Yeezy brand go from this billion-dollar enterprise to this, it kind of didn't even feel real. And these early products, in my opinion, don't feel great. Affordable, accessible, sure, but this hoodie is incredibly thin and practically disintegrates after one time in the washing machine. Each of these products, yes, has that staggering $20 price point, but they feel like $20 products. I wouldn't be shocked if I ordered it off of Amazon for that price, and this is what I received. Over the next 3 years, Yeezy would slightly evolve. Price points of these products would change from everything being simply $20 to some of them costing up to $100. The catalog of products is a lot wider than it originally started at. We've now got sneakers, boots, high heels, winter jackets, leather jackets, sunglasses, and bags. To get an outfit from Yeezy.com today, it will cost you a little bit more. This one, $180. $80 for the sneakers, but they are a step up. They're actual shoes now instead of socks. This leather jacket, faux leather of course, costs $60. And these pants cost $40, which depending on your wrist tolerance for if you like your button to easily be undone with Velcro, you might like. You can now even find a ton of different accessories on the Yeezy.com website, like these sunglasses that tried their very best to be as close as possible to the Prada sunglasses. While these cost just $20, you can also find stuff like bags and belts and socks and a whole plethora of different products, ranging from $20, like these sunglasses are, all the way up to the maximum cost of $100. But after trying all of these products, I've come to the same conclusion. None of these products feel like old Yeezy products that are now priced at $20. They feel like a $20 product priced at $20. Putting this stuff side by side with any of the previous eras of Yeezy, the prices are wildly different, but so is the quality. These Yeezy Gap hoodies are very unique. They're double layered. They've got interesting, unique design elements that we had never seen before. This $60 Yeezy hoodie feels like the cheapest possible way you could actually put a hoodie together. It lacks identity and the essence that usually came with Yeezy products and what set them apart. And nowadays, there's no shortage of cheap or affordable products with the rise of apps like Shein and Temu. So intentional clothing is more important than ever, in my opinion, regardless of the price point. Whether independent Yeezy can evolve beyond this and eventually offer high quality at affordable prices remains to be seen. The honest answer is that the best ever Yeezy product doesn't exist on the $20 Yeezy clothing rack, but also doesn't exist on the archive rack from all of the different Yeezy seasons. It probably sits somewhere in between the two. I think the Gap partnership is the closest Yeezy ever got to that. The saddest part about all of this is that when you wore Yeezy in 2019, it meant something. It was the flex for people who felt flexing was tacky. It wasn't Gucci or Louis Vuitton. It didn't scream money. The products were so unique, wearing it felt like anyone had access to a world of fashion that was normally gatekept by insiders. But when you wear Yeezy in 2026, it means something completely different. Kanye fought every partner he had for an entire decade to get to this point. But can people see beyond the anti-Semitism, the erratic behavior, and the Nazi t-shirts? The current Yeezy products carry all of that, whether the person wearing it intends it to or not. Kanye finally got what he said that he always wanted. It just may have cost him everything that made people want it in the first place.